special guest tonight, Mr. Brandon Card. What's going on, Brandon?
Hey, not much, man. Just getting ready to head out to Lake Cayuga.
Awesome, man. You had we wanted to talk to you a little bit tonight before you head out about your comeback at Bass Fest 2016. Give the guys a little bit of rundown. You had an excellent, day one was great. Day two kind of dipped a little bit, but day 3 and 4 you had an excellent comeback with your day 4 bag of 21.2 pounds. Give the guys a little bit of background about your practice and how that all went and how that led into your second place tournament finish.
Yeah, when we were driving out there, I knew that the whole area, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, was just getting pounded with torrential rain. So I knew the lake was going to come up. I just didn't know how high that it was going to get. So when we got out there, started practicing on Monday, the lake was already like 7 feet high, and it was rising. It just rose the whole day. It rose the whole second day, and finally it crested at like 9 feet high. And so that was on the second day of the tournament, and that was pretty intimidating, honestly. I mean, the lake was so high, right? There was just way too much cover. I mean, the woods, and there was just trees. I mean, you could go for miles back in all that stuff if you wanted to. You could fish there for weeks or months and never flip the same bush. But one thing that did happen that helped everybody. I mean, the first 2 days of practice were, it was really terrible. But what happened was the night of the second day of practice, the lake finally quit rising and it started falling. The Corps of Engineers started pulling the water really free, and the lake shut down. And that tree, kind of the edge. And so it made things a lot easier for us instead of, getting back in the woods and back in all the, flipping around. You could just stay on the outside edge and just flip, So it made things a lot easier, and the fish did a lot better. So I started to take some bites on that final day of practice. Kind of gave me a glimmer of hope. I mean, prior to that, pretty brutal practice. So right. What I did, I found fish on main lake points and secondary points on the deepest bushes. So when the tournament first started on the first day of the tournament, Wednesday, those bushes were like an 8 foot of water. And the week progressed and the lake continued to fall. They got shallower and shallower. So on the final day of the tournament, those outside bushes, they were only in like 3 or 4 foot of water. So the water fell about 4 feet in a matter of 4 days. Which, a lot of guys are like seeing it falling too fast. They're acting like it was hurting their fishes, but it just didn't because the more that the water fell, the more fish coming out to me. So my spots were replanting. Having fish come to you. Normally you like catch fish in an area, and then you got to go find new areas. Mine just kept replenishing. But what happened on that on the first day? I don't think there were many people on on that point side. I saw a lot of guys in the back of the creek and stuff. And so maybe they kind of got dialed into it a little bit, at the evening, or maybe they saw some of the leaders fish out there on the points. But on that second day, on pretty much every single point that I wanted to get on, I had a boat sitting on it. It was just frustrating to not get on the spot that I wanted to fish. And I was fishing the whole day. So that was the reason for the 10.5 pound bag on the second day. But once the field got cut in half, I could move around a lot better on the third day. And then, brought in that 16.5 pound bag. And then obviously on the fourth day, there was only only 12 of us out there. I had plenty of water to fish that day, and it was just, it was one of those natural days. What happened was that we had a front come through and had some real thick cloud cover. Previously, like the first 3 days of competition, it was sunny, bluebird skies. And, so obviously under sunny bluebird conditions, those fish are going to get real tight in that cover. On that fourth and final day, when it was cloudy, those fish were still relating to the bushes, but they weren't up in them. They were like on edge, kind of relating a little bit looser to them. So I knew from my experience fishing in East Tennessee on a cloudy day, especially in June, top water is awful hard to beat. So what I did is I put a top water in my hand. I never set it down. I think I might have made a few flips the entire day, but I threw that top water the whole day, and it was just one of those epic days of top water fishing. Just top water action all day long, catch a big one. It was one of those days that you dream about.
To get back to the flipping, what were you flipping this day?
So I'm just flipping green pumpkin creature bait. Some of them were like 5-inch. I was tipping the. I think that was that green chartreuse. I felt like that was because it got their attention, but it was still a lot more subtle than like a black and blue or something, like some of the other guys were flipping. I thought that was the right color for the water clarity. And I was just flipping those on a half-ounce tungsten weight, and I experimented some with the punch skirt. I caught some of my key fish with the punch skirt. Some of them, came just with the regular bait. So I don't know if the punch skirt helped or not, but definitely several of my big fish on the week came on that. But I just flipped a 20-pound, 100% forward part of the line, 4-aught straight shake hook, and just a big flip at stick. I was throwing a 7.6 heavy action Abby Garcia Dillon, which that's a really stout rod. I felt like I needed a pretty heavy rod. I was on that first day. I was flipping 7-8 foot deep, and so I was using Abby Garcia Revo Rocket, and the fastest reel on the market. And when you're flipping that deep, you got to pick up a lot of line, and so that fast reel really helped you do that.
Yeah, we know you said you love to flip. Is there any, for someone who is beginning to flip themselves, is there any recommendations on, tips?
Yeah, first and foremost, just, practice. You only have to practice on the water. When I was young, growing up, middle school, I would go out in my yard, my front yard, and just put a flipping stick in my hand, and I would just try to, get as close as I could to the bushes and the trees that were in my yard. I didn't even have a boat at the time, but I just practiced. So I knew the accuracy is key when you're flipping, and you have to be precise with your with the way your bait hits the water. It's got to be quiet, and it's got to be up in the cover. So those are the keys. Is just to practice your cast, and just to get comfortable with the rod and reel that you're using. Just practice makes perfect. You get out in your front yard, in your driveway. If you have a pool, flipping your pool, and just practice it. So when you get on the water, you're putting that bait where you want to put it, instead of if you're landing short every time, those fish very seldom they're not going to swim out of the bush and move 5 or 10 feet coming through. So that's the key, is just to practice, just to get the cast well.
I've seen some young kids flipping to 5-gallon buckets.
You know, that's good too. But if you think about it, that 5-gallon bucket, you know, 2 feet off of the ground. So really and truthfully, you want to be flipping to something that's like right on the ground, because that's what's going to happen when you're on the water. You don't want your bait to land or to be falling 2 vertical feet making a big splash. You want your bait to be right on the water's edge, and when it lands, it barely makes a splash. So what I would do, I would probably mix the 5-gallon bucket, and I would probably get a couple of small Tupperware containers, that are fit on it. And
okay. For those out there learning, learn just a little flipping this time of the year. Another big question for you, man. We got I know you got a tournament coming up next. Water temperature's rising. The 90, 95 degree days are around the corner. Do you have any tips for the guys fishing these hot summer days, man? What's your go-to bait during this warm summer month?
Well, starting out the day, I like to start out the day, if it's Sunday, try to get on a good topwater morning bite. I was fortunate on that 4th day of Bass Fest that it started on those. You can keep that topwater in your hand for the entire day, but 9 times out of 10 in summer, we always say have sunny days. So try to maximize those first few hours of the morning. They're early. Don't sleep in, get out there early, and get on the top water. That's going to be your best chance of catching numbers and catching a few big fish. I would recommend actually the exact bait that I was using at Bass Fest on that 4th day. I was using a Yozeri 3BB pencil, and so that's a walking bait. But what makes that bait cool is that it's kind of a compact walking bait. It has a weight transfer system, so it makes it really easy to cast. You can be very accurate with the bait, way back in the cover. If you want to cast it by lay down, or if you want to cast it by a bush, you can do that. Whereas some of the other walking baits are kind of light and they kind of wobble in the wind. This one casts like a bullet every time, and it's just it's got a different sound than most of the walking. So that's what I would start out with in the morning. And once the sun gets high, just focus on shade. Whether that's low dogs, whether that's the lay down, piece of brush in the water. Focus on shade. Bass are not too different from humans. That they don't want to be right out in the direct sun, especially if you're fishing shade. Shade is key throughout the summer. Now, if you're fishing offshore, fishing deep, that's a different story. That's a totally different ballgame if you have opportunity to fish offshore. Up in Virginia, I don't know how Tennessee River, where I live, not as strong as it is here. So,
right. Well, Brandon, man, we appreciate you coming on with us tonight, talking to us, and thank you for giving us an insight on your second place finish at Bass Fest. And you've always been a great friend of the Bass Cast, and I appreciate all you do, and thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Brian. I hope we can be doing this